here. If you haven't noticed, we are in a different room today, a room that you haven't seen before, because this is the podcast room. And I know I've been telling you for the past couple years, I really want to start a podcast. I've been asking you a bunch of different questions, what it should be on and all that kind of stuff, but I couldn't do it until I found the right person to do it with. And I would love to introduce you to one of my closest friends, a fellow female entrepreneur, and just all-around awesome person, Elisa Bilyeu.
What's up, guys? Thank you.
Yeah.
That's so sweet. I love that intro.
Well, I love your accent.
This is an amazing room.
So when we started building the Blogilates headquarters, which is where we film like the POPFLEX choreography, the Cheat Clean Eats videos and stuff, I had this vision that I wanted to do a podcast. So if you guys see, there's like this foamy padding everywhere. And so that's why this sounds really good right now. I had wanted to do this podcast for so long, but I didn't really want to do it by myself.
Cassey and I have known each other for a good 3 years now. So I ran the media department at Quest. I'm also a co-founder of Quest Nutrition. And so Cassey came on as a host of one of our shows, and we met, and literally it was one of those what's the female version of bromance?
It was girl crush.
Girl crush.
Major.
Oh, there we go. And then I started talking to her. I'm like, you're like this really intricate, interesting female who has built this empire, and you never talk about your empire. You never talk about the business side of what you've done.
That's
and
true.
guys, it's so incredible. So incredible that I was like, you have to talk about it. You have to talk about it. And I just kept bugging you about it.
When I wanted to do this podcast and I wanted the right partner, I knew it was you. And it was after one of our dinners where we eat these mushrooms that we really like. They're not like drug mushrooms. They're actually shiitake mushrooms.
Just sauteed beautifully in oil and butter. And
they're so good. Anyway, so we were talking over mushrooms, and Lisa was talking about,
so when's your first podcast coming out?
Right,
when's it
that's right.
And you kept saying, no, not yet. No, not yet.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And so eventually I was like, do I have to do one?
Right, and then invite me on. Oh, that's what it was. At dinner, I was like, you're going to be my first guest. And you're like, you're going to be my first guest.
Right.
A couple days later, I'm texting Lisa, do you want to start a podcast with me?
It was even a little more delicate than that.
Was it? Okay,
Yeah.
what was it?
She was like, I hope you don't take offense to it. And I was like, okay, what's she about to say? And she's like, it may be a delicate question. And if you don't want to, it was this whole thing, and if you don't want to, I would understand. But I really have been thinking about it. And as you're reading the text, you're like, where is this going? And then literally it was like, do you want to start a podcast again? I was like, oh my God, literally, it was so surreal. It was just one of those moments where I was like, I have been, this is the perfect solution to the fact that we've been bugging each other to do this podcast.
And so we joined forces, and it is the birth of the Sheroic Podcast.
Yes, baby.
We have come up with our own logo, which I'm stoked about.
I know, me too.
It is actually a high heel shoe with a little cape flying in the back.
Yeah.
I drew this out, and I was like, what symbolizes women who are strong and fearless? And so after hundreds and hundreds of drafts, we have an official logo.
We do. And even this process of the logo and the name, and it's been so incredible because, and this is why I'm actually so excited for your fans.
Yeah.
Because they've seen this fitness person, you've built this empire and you've done such an incredible job. But there's this whole other side to you that I got to see, A, being your friend, and then B, in this process of seeing how creative, what a visionary you are, and how we both really bond over the notion of getting better, improving.
One of the first things that Lisa and I talked about was we're never going to let this partnership here with the podcast, this business, affect our actual friendship. The moment that it starts tainting either of us in either way and affecting our friendship negatively, we're going to stop doing this.
Yeah.
And from the get-go, we were super honest. We were even we had a little thing in the beginning where Lisa was like, I really like swearing. And I'm like, but I don't swear. And then I was like, I don't know if we can do this. Because I was like, Lisa, I want you to be you. I don't want you to hold back. Like, if it isn't comfortable, like, don't do this.
I find swearing and rude words an expression. I don't necessarily think of them as bad, as crude. Like, I think of them as when I'm really passionate, I may, you know, drop an F-bomb, but it's not to offend. It's just to express how, like, deeply I'm feeling, like, my passionate. And so when we spoke, and your fans mean the world to you, and you had said that to me, like, look, I've got to make sure that I protect them. And in protecting them, I don't think using swear words is fitting for my audience. And so I would never ask you to be someone you're not. And that's the one thing she had said, like, I'm never going to ask you to not be you. But this is where I stand. And we always said from the get-go, we're going to put our friendship first. And so, like, if this means that we just drop the podcast, then we drop the podcast.
Yeah.
And so I took 24 hours and I walked away and I was like, okay, the fact that she's willing to walk away from this because she respects me, I feel the same about her. And I've said to you, like, I'll burn this podcast to the ground before I ever risk our friendship. Like, it's just not worth it to me.
It's not worth it.
So in knowing that you felt the same and that you were just as willing to protect me, like, it made me lower my defenses and go, okay, well, who am I really?
Yeah.
Right? Swear words don't define me, right? And I don't think they should define anybody. And it's just like if you're a religious person, you go to church, you watch what you say. And if you're with your parents, you speak a different way than if you speak with your friends. So that's when I pinged you back and I was like, girl, let's just do this.
This girl crushing going on right here. Like, this is for real. This is how I feel about you every single day. I just feel so lucky to have you in my life. And I want to share Lisa with all of you because whenever I have any business questions or even relationship questions, I always text Lisa and you will give like the most thoughtful, like 3-paragraph text about stuff that helps me get through things, and you're just amazing. So I think you guys are going to find so much value in the Sheroic Podcast. The point of the podcast is to really help you find your potential in life, to help you become stronger, to help you become more fearless, to help you become a real life Shero.
Yes.
Right? And some of the topics that we're going to get really nitty gritty into are
friends that are really enemies, about weight, about fitness, about jealousy, about entrepreneurship, building your own business, failing, success.
Lots of body image stuff. We get really raw and real about our insecurities. And that's the thing too. I feel like with podcasting, we have the time to really dig deep. And then Lisa is so good at getting emotions out of me that I'm probably going to end up crying. We're not afraid to disagree with each other either, which I think is very healthy.
I'm excited to learn from this.
Me too. And also we're going to have guests on as well.
Yeah.
So there are certain people that you want us to interview, certain people you want to learn from. Let us know in the comments below. And really, any question. Nothing is going to be too much for us, and I am willing to really like get uncomfortable with these topics. Like, I want to go there. I want to show a side of me that I haven't been able to show on YouTube.
And I've been fortunate to know you and see that side of you, and so I'm so excited about like that part of you coming out, because you've got so much to share with your community. And because we kind of come from the same world of fitness and business and building up our own business and having successes but also having failures.
Totally. It's going to be an open conversation between both of us, but between us and you as well. Don't you ever forget that this is a community. Okay, before we go, quickly off the top of our heads, 5 tips for finding your inner Shero.
And she didn't prepare me for this, and now I feel like there's the timer, like the silent tick, tick, tick.
Maybe let's discuss what a Shero is. Okay. Clearly, our podcast is called the Sheroic Podcast, and it's a and then a hero comes along. Hero. I like that. Being a Shero means to be someone who is fearless in the face of challenges.
I like that.
How does one become a Shero? Number 1.
So number 1 for me is brutal honesty with yourself. Brutal honesty. So when you're being petty, admit you're petty.
Number 2, get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
All right. Number 3, embrace failure.
Number 4, follow your passions and your dreams relentlessly. and do not feel guilty about it ever.
I like that.
Final number 5.
Oh, drum roll.
Drum roll.
Open yourself up to be changed.
I love that, being flexible. Yes, we did it!
Yes!
We did it! Lisa, I am so excited that they just got to meet you, one of my closest friends, and to see your heart and hear your mind, and you're going to get more of her on the Sheroic Podcast.
Yeah, so listen up.
Listen up. We're going to be on iTunes. We're going to be on Stitcher.
On YouTube.
Yes, that's right. So, okay, first thing I want you guys to do, go follow at Be Sheroic everywhere.
Everywhere.
Okay? And then go on iTunes or Stitcher and subscribe to the Sheroic Podcast. It literally looks like that.
But it doesn't come out yet.
Oh, and
you guys have to wait.
We have to wait until June 21st. It's going to be the day right after summer, so you won't forget.
I like that.
So, Lisa,
Yes.
we're going to end this video by telling everyone to
Be Sheroic.
And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Mwah.